Hi, my name is Darek Zabrocki and I'm a concept artist working for films and games. I'm also CEO and co-founder of Focal Point School. I've been working in this field for almost a decade and I contributed to a lot of projects from companies like Nvidia, Netflix, Sony, and many more. Some of the projects I work on are Call of Duty, Maze Runner, Destiny, Assassin's Creed, Love, Death and Robots, and many more. Drawing was my always the biggest passion in my life. I started when I was around 3 years old. The first inspiration came from Lion King, and I've been drawing since then. I never really thought it's gonna be my profession. So around 2013, 2014, I got my first AAA industry gig, and I started working as a concept artist since then. Which basically became my lifestyle. I don't really consider working as just my job because it requires almost like a 24-hour of full commitment, and I just think it's just the biggest passion, and I love doing that. My main profession, my main specialization is creating worlds and environments. But since I also love challenging myself and doing challenging tasks, lately I've been also working on a lot of stuff like character design and vehicle designs. Today I would like to review for you a new product, a refreshed version of Wacom Cintiq Pro that I just received from Wacom. So it's a new Cintiq Pro 16 version that I just have in here. So let's just unpack that and see how it goes, because I really think it's very interesting, you know, especially for drawing purposes. So let's see what we have in here. That's the very carefully packed piece of equipment. A very nice bag in here. The size of that is 16-inch. I think it's pretty good size, especially for those that like going out and like do drawing in real life or in nature. Maybe going for like you know, some spaces for some spots that you basically don't really go without like a purposes of drawing. So I think the size and then the whole plate, the whole space is very good. It's rather optimal. The weight of it is also pretty good, so I think it would be very comfortable even keeping it on one arm and drawing for hours. So yeah, let's plug that in and let's see how it really goes. I have this little drawing here, and I think for the main purpose of using Wacom Cintiq, for me especially, it's like the ability to draw. Since I used to draw a lot back in the days, I jumped on using tablet quite a while ago, like many years ago, and I sort of like started missing that. So with the moment that I started the school, I also started drawing much more. So it basically helped me, you know, in being more interactive with my students, and you know, to present the ideas fast. Also for the client work became a very natural thing for me. So I really always strive to find the tool that basically imitate or basically give me that feeling of a real drawing on paper. And I think since I remember when I was using Cintiq back in 2017 when I was working at EA, I really like the natural feeling of that. And now since we are going to use Cintiq 16 Pro, which is basically a new updated version with much better spec, I really expect it to be even more natural and more closer to what we have on the paper. So let me just continue this little drawing that I have based on one of my old piece. And you know, at the very beginning, like when I start even like scribbling things on, you know, like from the elbow, like on the like even surfaces or like some nice curvy lines, it immediately feels much more natural to me than you know, when I basically draw on like off-screen tablet. right? Most of the time I use Wacom Intuos Pro, which for me was always a tool that, to be honest, never really disappointed me. But the feeling of drawing and the natural nature of drawing basically is much more well captured when you use the tablet that basically has the screen on. So in this particular situation, I think Cintiq is a great tool, especially also when you do designs, very fast sketches, you want to present them to your clients. I think ability to draw is of course the skill the core skill of concept artists, right? So since I somehow have that embedded in my blood since I remember, I really love doing design drawings on the side before even sending anything to the client. So maybe even when the client see the final output in more colorful, fully illustrated way, I still love going back and do a design scribbles on the side. So yeah, to be honest, I really feel a very natural approach to drawing on Cintiq. So I think the updated version also include a new Wacom Pen 2 or second generation. It basically works very smooth. I don't really see any lag. I remember when I first really experienced working with Cintiq, it was not only in 2017 when I used it a little bit longer, but 2014, 2013 that I ever really touched the Cintiq for the first time. And for me, that the distance between the tip of my pen and the screen, that sort of make it still kind of detached from the natural feeling of drawing. But here right now, I really feel like I'm drawing on paper. I even imagine I could put the paper on and basically, putting the ink lines on the canvas, on the paper. So that's definitely a plus, and I definitely see that difference. Since I used that the previous sort of generation Cintiqs, right? So I think also when you have a mobile station, when you can just travel with your laptop, or when we do a demos for our students in class, I think that that's definitely something that I might consider, especially that we do a lot of drawings, at school, and basically it's as I mentioned, the core skill that is somehow neglected. But the basic fundamentals are making you a better designer, right? So you can sketch on the side, you can showcase your ideas even when you have a meeting with your client, or basically I call it a napkin sketches, right? But having Cintiq, you can basically create those visions very naturally and show it to your client, oh, can you have a look right now into design that I've just made. And the conversation and the real design process start from there. So I think it's definitely a big plus, on the Cintiq side. I've been talking about the lag and the issue that was removed in this new version. I think it's really important also to add how well the screen is calibrated. Basically, when I open Wacom tablet drivers, you have the option to calibrate it, and to be honest, when I'm using a very good screen and I compare it with Wacom, the color and the angles is definitely very well captured. So I would say even doing colorful studies or colorful illustrations, concepts, is definitely going to be very natural, since the colors and what's really important for me, the angles that I basically draw from are pretty good. It's definitely an improvement from what I remember. One more thing that I would like to mention also is the resolution. As it's a 4K resolution, which basically let me see my scribbles and my line with a very nice very smooth transitions, and the line isn't like a weak, isn't like a cut. It doesn't really have like the pixels. So I think again, it's also the improvement on this field. What else? I think it's also the surface of it. It's very nice. Like it's sometimes when you do drawings and when you paint for many hours, you tend to get like a little bit of sweat on your hands. I think that the surface here is very nice. It's kind of matte. It's definitely not glossy, so it doesn't have also much reflection from the environment. It reflects back a little bit of light, but it's not very intrusive. It's not that disturbing. So I think the surface is definitely very nice, very smooth. I think my hand wouldn't be very tired. Of course, I'm gonna test it out for another couple hours. But I think from what I see right now, it's definitely something that seems very comfortable, right? So the screen, the surface is very much on plus. Yeah, what else? I think it's the size also, as I mentioned, the space to draw actually is pretty enough. Especially for drawing and scribbling your designs on the side, or maybe like preparing like the first pass, or even when I basically get closer, I can see that the details and how I can place down like those like tiny refinements. It's definitely enough. Also very cool. It has still this like supportives on the side here, so I can sit a little bit more straight. And when I bend over the surface, it's still comfortable. So yeah, I think that in general it's definitely a very good product, and I'm really happy I could have a hand on that. So I would like to thank you, Wacom, for sending me one of those to test it out. I really think it's the equipment that especially for artists, for concept artists that like to draw and like design on the side and do like a design in 2D is something to really consider. I didn't check it yet in 3D package, but I'm basically definitely more interested in using that for more natural stuff, which is basically drawing, like drawing on paper. So I think Cintiq Pro is definitely a very good product to sync up your natural skill of drawing with digital media. So yeah, from me it's a big plus, and I think definitely on a short list to consider to add it to your tool bag. So yeah, that's from me. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you around. Thank you. Bye.